God, thank you for allowing us all to be here, to wake up this morning. You know, had the ability to get ready, get dressed, put on what we want to, walk and breathe and talk, and love on each other. Thank you for this moment. We ask that you bless these words that's coming up. God, if anything I miss out on, I ask that you fill in the blanks and let your will be done. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. So, the title of this is Fired Up. I don't know if we got it up there, but I ain't talking about, we ain't talking about that. And the Spirit of the Lord is saying, put the weed down. So for anybody who needs to hear that, that's for all of them. I know it's hard, but man, we can get there. But the text I'm going to be coming out of is Daniel chapter 3. And I'm sure most of y'all know about that. That's the three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I want to say what Pastor Hunter be saying, but we're gonna keep it cool. But well, first off, who in here is like going through some heat, like some fire in your life, like some real fire, some heat that to the point where if you don't let God handle it, if you touch it, like you're gonna get burnt, like real bad. Okay. I see like two people. But yeah, I'm one of them. I'm gonna say three. It's a lot of heat on me right now. It was even hard for me to come up here and do this. We're gonna start with Daniel chapter 3. This is the first verse in chapter 3. It says, King Nebuchadnezzar made an image of gold, 60 cubits high and 6 cubits wide, and set it up on the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. He then summoned the satraps, prefects, governors, advisors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all the other, it's some crazy words in here, but provincial, is that right? Provincial officials to come to the dedication of the image he had set up. So the satraps, prefects, governors, advisors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all the other provincial officials assembled for the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up, and they stood before it. So first off, all that right there is they basically telling us that this King Nebuchadnezzar, he made an image portraying to be God, the image of gold, portraying it to be God, and he's calling for all the nations to come and worship this image. Just like, I don't know about y'all, but I had a few of those in my life, the images of gold. One of them was weed. We had sex. We got, what else? Anybody got something else? Alcohol. I was with that too. Food. Okay, all that. So anything in your life that you overdoing, and you know God has been knocking at your door telling you to calm down, that you making that an image. Whether we want to believe it or not, you making that an image. You know, I used to lie to myself when I was smoking weed so much. I'm like, this ain't nothing. You know, God, cool. Like, I ain't really putting it over God. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking back, I was. Because every time I had a problem, look, I need to hit this blunt. I don't care what nobody's saying. I need to sit by myself and go get high. So God put it in my spirit to tell me I was setting it up as an idol, as an image of gold, as we talking about. We keep moving. Verse 4 says, then the herald loudly proclaimed, nations and people of every language, this is what you are commanded to do. So this is a commandment. So we know, like, if God commanded us to do something, whether we want to do it or not, it's going to get done. So that's just breaking down what they're trying to say here. It's everybody had to do it. Like, you had to do it. If you commanded to do something, you have to do it. And if you decide not to, we're going to get to the consequences. But as soon as you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the zither, the lyre, harp, pipe, and all kinds of music, you must fall down and worship the image of gold that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Whoever does not fall down and worship will immediately be thrown into a blazing furnace. So basically, he's making a threat to these people that if you don't do this, we about to burn you up. I don't know how many of y'all, like, be honest with yourself. If you say yes or no, that's a scary situation for somebody to come to you, a king, to come to you and say, if you don't do this, you're going into the fire. Like, we all say we trust in God, but when the moments come, are we really, like, trusting in God? Like, if somebody came to you and said, if you don't do this, I'm going to get you real bad, would you still trust in God? Therefore, as soon as they heard the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, and all kinds of music, all the nations and the peoples of every language fell down and worshiped the image of gold that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. So immediately they go into that. The people listened to him. Nobody argued with him. Nobody went against him. Everybody just did what the king said. At this time, some astrologers came forward and denounced the Jews. They said to King Nebuchadnezzar, may the king live forever. Your majesty has issued a decree that everyone who hears the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipe, and all kinds of music must fall down and worship the image of gold. And that whoever does not fall down and worship will be thrown into a blazing fire. And now we get into, they bringing the Jews in it, which was, now we're going to get into Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I'm going to start that one over. We're going to, at this point, some astrologers came forward and denounced the Jews. They said to King Nebuchadnezzar, may the king live forever. Your majesty has issued a decree that everyone who hears the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipe, and all kinds of music must fall down and worship the image of gold, and that whoever does not fall down and worship will be thrown into a blazing furnace. But there are some Jews whom you have set over the affairs of the prophets of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who pay no attention to you. So this is telling us right here that they were already with the king, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So even before he set up this image, these dudes had in their mind that we ain't even rolling with you. Even though they was working with him or working for him, they already had in their mind that we not with nothing you own. And they wasn't scared to say it. Your majesty, they need to serve your gods nor worship the image of gold you have set up. So again, when they say they need to serve your gods, so that's telling us even before he set up this image of gold, he already had other gods in place that these people was worshiping. And again, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had no intentions of doing that either. So this telling me that the whole time they was with God, even before he set up this image of gold and proclaimed that if they didn't worship it, they was going to be thrown into the fire. They was already on that. Like, bro, we ain't doing nothing you doing. And I don't know if he knew that or not, but they was working for him the whole time, and him not knowing that, that's kind of stood out to me in this text, that he would have these three Hebrew boys working for him, knowing that I don't know if they ever spoke up before this moment about not flowing with what he flowing in, But that was kind of interesting to me. They neither serve your gods nor worship the image of gold you set up. Furious with rage, King Nebuchadnezzar summoned Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So these men were brought before the king, and Nebuchadnezzar said to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the image of gold I have set up? Now when you hear the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipe, and all kinds of music, if you are ready to fall down and worship the image I have made, very good. But if you do not worship it, you will be thrown immediately into a blazing furnace. Then what God will be able to rescue you from my hand?" So that line right there let me know that I don't think King Nebuchadnezzar ever had a real encounter with a real God before this moment. So, or maybe he did and he just didn't listen. Like, some of us do. And when I say us, I'm really saying me. Like, I know there's other people out here that do that, but God has given me moments to where he was telling me that he's God, and I ignored him. So it got worse and worse. Every time I ignored God and something else happened, it was worse. So this is where we get into with King Nebuchadnezzar. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, "King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter." So again, what I'm getting from this, these boys, they was bold, but they was real calm. Like, they wasn't really trying to argue with him or fight against him. They was telling him simple words. Like he said, you don't need to play defense. Like, when you got God on your side, there is nothing you have to do. Like, you can go sit in your room and fight your enemies. You ain't got to be all up in their face. You can know who they is, know what they doing. You ain't got to go confront them about none of this. It's good to talk to people or try to talk it out. But if it ain't on that, go sit in your room and talk to God about it and watch how God can handle it. They could be in another state. I don't care where they at. God going to do what he got to do. So don't be on the defense. Don't be on defense. That's what I got from that. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. So again, that line right there, God is able and he's willing. Like, he can do it and he's willing to do it. So putting those two together, I don't know, that give me a lot of hope. Like, if God is able to do something and he want to do it, that's a great combination for me. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. So again, every time I'm going to connect this back to us. Who in here that if you knew that God might not get you out your situation, would you still worship him? If you felt like he wasn't going to deliver you from what you was going through, whether somebody got cancer or any type of illness you're going through, what if God was like, I'm going to let you go through this, I'm not getting you out of this, would you still worship God? Okay, that was a lot of yeses. I believe y'all too. I just lost what I was at. Okay, then King Nebuchadnezzar was furious with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and his attitude toward them changed. He ordered the furnace heated 7 times hotter than usual. Again, like, I don't even know how, like, you ever touch fire by mistake, like, touch the stove by mistake? Like, you touch it, not even 1 second, you taking your hand back. So I can't imagine somebody turning up a furnace 7 times more. I don't know how much hotter something can get. But he ordered the furnace to be turned up 7 times hotter than usual and commanded some of the strongest soldiers in his army to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the blazing furnace. So first off, the soldiers that's coming into the picture, these are not even the direct enemies of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These are just something that the real enemy sent, which is King Nebuchadnezzar. All right, we're going to get more to them. Keep reading. So these men, wearing their robes, trousers, turbans, and other clothes, were bound and thrown into the blazing furnace. The king's command was so urgent and the furnace so hot that the flames of the fire killed the soldiers who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, firmly tied, fell into the blazing furnace. So the thing that the enemy sent, which was his strongest soldiers, they didn't even make it to see what was about to happen. They didn't even make it to see the outcome of the story. So to connect that to us, the enemy can send something your way, and God will take care of it without even touching your actual enemy. So King Nebuchadnezzar is not getting touched right now. He's just watching it, and he's the enemy. Whatever he sent, it got killed. So whatever the enemy sending your way, God is taking care of it with no problem. There's nothing too hard for God. God is doing it. He killed the strongest soldiers. It was his strongest soldiers. He killed them with no problem. With no problem. They didn't even make it to see the outcome of whatever bad that was supposed to go on. So I keep losing where I'm at because I just want to start talking, man. But we're going to try to stay up in here. Fell down, tried to burn. Then King Nebuchadnezzar leaped to his feet in amazement and asked his advisors, weren't there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire? They replied, certainly, your majesty. He said, look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods. So instantly his mind is changing about God. Now, how you know how a son of the God look? First you was against all this. Now he instantly knowing that, hey, this might be something. And again, the thing that the enemy sent died first. They op is still alive. To put it in terms of how we speak, they're ops. He's still alive. He's just watching what he sent die. I don't know how that's making y'all feel, but that part to me, that was like the one thing to me that really stood out. Like the things that the enemy is sending my way, God is really killing it off. But it's still another problem out there, and we're going to get to it. Nebuchadnezzar then approached the opening of the blazing furnace and shouted, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out and come here. So again, instantly, his mind is changed. Now he's claiming the same God that they was claiming, the same God he just denied 5 minutes ago, what we just read. Now he's claiming that that's the God. That's the one true God. And what I'm getting from that is, I feel like the reason why God didn't kill King Nebuchadnezzar, which he could have easily, like God could do whatever he want, when he want. He could have wiped him out too and canceled the whole setup. But I feel like this happened just for us today. The stuff in the Bible that's happening, this for us. Even though we're not going through the exact same situation, but metaphorically, we all can connect to this, to being in some type of fire. So God kept the enemy alive so he could repent. So don't get mad when God starts blessing your enemy, because he can and will do it. Like I used to be, like I had some enemies before, and I might have been somebody's enemy. I don't know. But I've seen them prospering. Like I would see my enemy prospering and doing real good. And I used to get mad. I used to get mad. I was like, God, why? Like we over here, I'm over here broke. I'm crying. I'm mad. I'm like, look at my life. My ops, they over here succeeding. And I'm talking about they scamming people for money, and they getting it easily. And as soon as I tried it before, I tried to scam, not nobody, but I tried to get into a scam. But when I did it, God shut the whole thing down. And I was kind of mad at God. I'm like, how you letting them getting away with it? And when I try to do it, like I need it bad. Like I don't think they needed that bad. And he was still giving it to them. So God will bless your enemy. So regardless of how you feel, how you want to hurt them, what you want to do to them, what you be thinking about, because I had a lot of thoughts about people. I'm not finna get up here and lie and hide anything. I would go home and I would speak to myself like I want to hurt somebody. I would really think about hurting somebody. Just because I'm thinking, oh, you want to be my enemy and I'm trying to show you love, like now I want to hurt you. But then I would see God blessing them, and God would speak to me like, why are you going to get mad? I can do what I want. This is what God say. I can do what I want. So when you see your enemies getting blessed, look, there's nothing you can do about it. You can go home and be mad. You can go talk about them, go call your friend and talk about them, but that ain't going to change nothing God want to do. And sometimes God allows stuff to happen with your enemies because they able to be saved too. Like nobody's excluded from being saved. Anybody can be saved. I don't care if a murderer, I don't care what you've done. We cannot take up what God is going to do in somebody's life. If he want to save them, he will. And that's what he did right here with King Nebuchadnezzar, because what I'm getting from this is an immediate repentance. Like he repented on the spot by claiming that their God was the true God. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out the fire, and the satraps, prefects, governors, and royal advisors crowded around them. They saw that the fire had not harmed their bodies, nor was the hair of their heads singed. Their robes were not scorched, and there was no smell of fire on them. So, and again, I'm getting it. They got into a furnace that was turned up 7 times higher than it usually be, and they got out with no signs of being in there. So, whatever you're going through, don't be scared, man, because God will make a way, and we could walk in this door not knowing nothing you went through, because that's what God will do, make you look like you ain't going through nothing you going through. Because right now behind me, which you can't see, is hell going on behind me. I'm talking about hell. Well, sometimes I wake up, I look in the mirror like, man, I think I should be worse than this. I'll tell myself that. But God take care of me. God be taking care of me. I don't think, if I didn't tell y'all what I was going through, nobody could just sit here and guess it. Because you can't see it. It's fire going on. Stuff is burning down, but you can't see it. You can't smell it either. I mean, I might be a little funky sometimes, but as far as the situation I'm going through, you're not going to smell it. You're not. Because I know God got me, and I know he defended me. Like, again, y'all, I didn't even know what I was going to say. I started writing something to come up here, try to get 3 points and make a point on each point and do this and do that. And God was like, get out your head and just go do you. Go up there and talk to these people. Because I could really stand up here and talk to y'all for about 3 hours about being in fire for a long time. But I ain't going to do that to y'all. Don't worry about it. I don't know. But again, man, like, for real, I don't know, when y'all read the Bible, like, are we just reading it and getting the words and trying to remember it and to be able to say, oh, I remember this passage and this and that, or are you reading it and actually taking what God is saying, like, to heart? Because when God, right here, God is saying they was in this fire, everything burned off them. They had stuff on them and it burned off. Everything burned off of them. So everything that's negative on you, it's burning off. Like, God is just burning it off. Anything that's weighing you down, that's not supposed to be around you, not supposed to be on you, God is burning it off. And it was crazy to me. You're not even going to feel it, because this is a spiritual thing. This is happening in the spirit. We be thinking God ain't working because he don't work like us. We not finna feel him touching and working. We can do that, but God is working in the spirit. So no, if God saying this word, I'm taking this literal. He said he gonna burn it off. He gonna burn it off. I don't care how long it take, how it's looking. He said he gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Because God never lied to me. I don't know about nobody in here, which I can speak for y'all too. God ain't lied to y'all. Even if y'all think he did, he wasn't lying. It was probably you. If you thinking God was off track, go back to yourself. It's you. God is never off track. Then Nebuchadnezzar said, praise be to God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Again, and he's instantly, like, this is not an ongoing thing. Like, he's worshiping God now. The op is worshiping God now. And I don't know about y'all, once I got over my bitterness about my enemies, like, I was proud of them. Like, I was happy for them. Like, I'm saying, like, you want to worship God like I am? Because none of us perfect. None of us perfect. So now God is putting into our eyes that again, anybody can be saved. And when you see them being saved, like, be happy for them. Like, don't go home and be bitter because they might end up having more money than you, a better job, anything. Do not go home and be bitter. Be happy that your enemy has had a transformation. Who has sent his angel and rescued his servants. They trusted in him and defied the king's command and were willing to give up their lives rather than serve or worship any god except their own God. So again, like, are you willing to put your life on the line to worship God? Like, that's a real question. Like, we could just sit here and say, yeah, but like, something happened now. Let's say when they talk about the mark of the beast, I don't really believe. But Donald Trump, they saying he this and that. We just going to say, I don't believe that he is, whatever. Say Donald Trump walked in this room and said, everybody in here, if y'all don't snap this on your head, we going to deal with you. Like, who going to follow him? Because we could just sit here and talk all we want. Like, are we going to ride with God? We going to ride with God. But when that fire get turned up them 7 times, like, who God going to start exposing? And don't be the one getting exposed. Therefore, I decree that the people of any nation, language, who say anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be cut into pieces, and their houses be turned into piles of rubble. For no other God can save in this way. So now he went from, if you don't worship me, we're going to throw you in the fire. Now he's saying, if you don't worship God, we're going to cut you into pieces. I don't know which one works. Hold on, man. He said, if you don't worship God, we're going to cut you into pieces. Like, forget a fire, you're getting cut up. So now I feel like that lets me know he's riding harder for this God than he was of his image of gold. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. So now they went from being thrown into a furnace to a promotion. Being thrown into a furnace into a promotion. And when we say promotion, it ain't always got to be in the form of a job or money or anything. Just look at little things in your life. That's what I feel like we got to start paying attention to. When God is doing little stuff, like, little stuff is good. Like my kids be getting free clothes. I love that. I love not the fact that I ain't got to go buy them, but just somebody is thinking about my kids to get them something. Like, that's a promotion to me. Like, that makes me very happy. That will make my whole day. I don't care what's going on or any little thing that's happened. Somebody can give me a shirt. Somebody can get, like, anything. It ain't got to be money. It's just, I feel like that's a promotion. Anything that's happening in your life that was better than before, that's a promotion from God. And we should be thankful for it. Be thankful for everything. Don't wait till God just bring the big prize. Because a lot of times he probably don't bring the big prize. We might not get it. Whatever you think about, I need $1 million. Everybody want to be a millionaire. Everybody ain't going to be a millionaire. Like, it's just not going to happen. And we got to accept that, and live good in it. If God don't give me $1 million, which I want it, I do want it. We're not going to hold that off. Lord, I want $1 million. But if he decides not to give that to me, like, that's not going to change my perspective of God. But even if it did, like, we can't do nothing with God. Like, we can sit and be mad at him, but there's nothing you can do. So the best thing for us to do is just to get over it. Get over it. Get over being bitter. Get over being bitter with people, with yourself, and get over being bitter with God. And if you are bitter with God, you're allowed to tell him that. I hope y'all know that. You can tell God you mad at him, you frustrated with him. There's nothing too far off from God. Anything you say or think about, he already heard you thinking about it. You probably said some stuff in your head. You thought ain't nobody. He heard you. So you might as well speak it to him and let him know what's going on. But that was it. That was chapter 3. I didn't want to get too far into it, but I'm going to stop it right there. But again, reading this text, man, and we went over it in the men's group on Thursday, and it just opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. Like, God is really willing to ride for us if we speak out. Like, don't be silent when the enemy attacking you. You can say something. You can speak to the enemy and tell him that God is going to deliver you. and believe it. And believe it. Because sometimes we'll say God is going to deliver us. We'll be happy praying one day like, oh, God got me. God got this. I trust him. But say 2 months go by, 2 years go by. You looking around like God ain't did nothing yet. Like what? The fire getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And God ain't did nothing. Like now we forgetting the words that we said. We said God got us. We trust him. And he's able. He's going to do it. Don't ever forget that. If you say that one time, that's all it takes is one time. You don't have to keep going back every time you get scared, because this is what I used to do. Stuff be happening, I'll pray to God and be feeling great. Then now stuff seems like stuff getting worse and worse and worse. I'm like, hold up, God, wait, where you at? Like, I don't see you. Now I'm saying a prayer again. I'm shaking, I'm scared. God, you said you was going to do that. Nah, just chill out. God really got it. It take that one time for you to come to God and tell him about what you need from him. Don't panic. Don't get scared. I don't care what the enemy doing. Like, I don't care what the enemy is doing.
To the most high. Way to the most high. Make some noise for God. You know, God is high, but we're below. And oftentimes we go through the struggle. So can I take y'all to the near east side of Indianapolis real quick? My grandma, she would use the oven to heat the house up sometimes. So I call this thing heated oven. Y'all ever been there before where it's cold in the wintertime, use the oven? You know what I'm talking about? So y'all might rock with this. My cold nights heated up, and grandma got on heated up. The cold nights heated up, and grandma heated up, and my heated up, and my cold nights heated up.
I reached my bag and do or die, and God told me I was certified. I hit him up and he be down the slide like airtime. He a big stepper with some big dogs, big drippers on all of us.